Hello everyone, today I will be working on my girlfriend's Asus X54 1N laptop. We're going to start with a comparison time from the first boot. We're going to upgrade the hard drive to SSD, considering the RAM is non-upgradable, that's our only upgrade option. And we'll see what the difference is. Let's boot this old thing up. Okay, and we start timer at the same time I hit the power button. It comes up to the Asus screen first, of course. We're going to see how long it takes to get into Windows. That's our baseline time. This is starting from a full shutdown, not standby mode or anything, so this is how long this computer average takes just to boot. It's already been a minute and we're still seeing just the Asus screen, haven't even found Windows yet. This laptop has your standard laptop mechanical hard drive, approximately 500 gigabytes. We will be upgrading that today to this 512 gigabyte SSD SATA drive to see if we can speed it up any. Okay, it's been almost 2 minutes and we're now into a black screen. The mouse has finally showed up on the screen. That's a good start. This laptop's only got 4 gigs of RAM. It says it's a quad core. I'll check the specs more here in a minute once I get it booted. And we'll go from there. Okay, we made to some sort of window screen. Let me adjust that screen so that way camera can see a little better. Okay, I'm going to type in the password real quick. Or wait for the password to come out. There it goes. Now let's see how long it takes us to where we can get into a start menu. Already 2.5 minutes or so in, and we're finally logging in. Granted, I've run Windows 95, Windows 98 computers, but it's one thing for those to be slow. It's another thing for a full-on Windows 10 laptop to be slow. Now, as the RAM is not upgradable, it's stuck with 4 gigs of RAM, but we're going to try to help it along as best as we can today. We'll clone over the hard drive to the new one, and then go from there. Assuming we are getting Windows for the full comparison. Already 3 minutes in, and hasn't logged in yet. Hopefully I typed the password incorrectly, because this computer is so slow it takes for it to kick you out from an incorrect password to start with. That might be a good sign. Maybe. Okay, it's still loading in. Hasn't loaded any of the icons yet, but we've at least made it into a home screen in Windows. Nice beautiful horse background. And let's see how long it takes to actually load our icons. I know, slow RAM, integrated RAM onto the motherboard. The motherboard's like a fraction the size of the inside of the computer, so it doesn't help. Yep, almost 4.5 minutes in, it hasn't loaded back on yet. Can I at least move the mouse? Here they come. Okay, I'm still sluggish. Didn't even get into a start menu yet. Not yet. Now for more layer projects, we're going to see how well an early version of BeamNG Drive can run on here. Pre-installed, ready to go hopefully. Still hasn't given me the icons down here at the bottom for telling me whether it's connected to the internet or has sound. And we're 5 minutes in. I should, in theory, have some icons here in the center, icons to the right here. Still can't do anything with the computer yet. Still spinning circle of death. Oh, we finally got a start menu at almost 5.5 minutes. Of course, it's glitchy as usual. But as you can tell, this computer is, well, no picnic to use. Unlike the computer in the background, that is from 2013. They can run internet, games, fairly modern stuff, and not be as problematic as this. Looks like the good news is we do have a battery holding charge. You can see by it's not plugged in over here. Connected to the internet's good. Let's see if we can view some specs on this computer. Possibly. Can I get into my computer at least? Let's try to get a control panel. There's control panel possibly, if it will let me click on it. Yep, she was still showing text bar. I grant Steam open in the background is not helping matters any, but I mean, I've typed in CON for control panel. It shows it here. Still doesn't want to let me load, and we are just about 7 minutes in. Okay, open control panel. Steam, you could probably not be doing what you're doing while the computer's running your hard drive that it has. Downside to mechanical hard drives and a lack of RAM. Was going to upgrade the RAM, but well, non-upgradable RAM. And yeah, I'm pretty sure control panel's supposed to be opening too. So we'll cancel the Steam thing just to hopefully speed up a little bit so I can get a control panel and show you a couple specs on the computer. Good news is the computer hasn't crashed, but I'm not saying it won't. But yeah, both the computer running in the background for the stopwatch and this computer are both running Windows 10. Your grant desktop's got clocks at a higher speed to start with than the laptop, but it's still, this laptop shouldn't be quite that slow. Do large icons, full screen so I can see it, and we'll click on system and see if we can see some information here. Well, appears to have popped up a pop-up. I didn't tell you to remote desktop, but okay, I just told you open system. I don't know why it brought the remote desktop menu, but hey. I don't believe I clicked on that. But that's old sluggish computers for you. We're almost 9 minutes in. And just now to see some information on here. It's running a 64-bit operating system. Ooh, processor is not available. And RAM is not available. Why is it not available? We don't know, but one thing I do know is that the task manager should be able to show us a few more things. And Steam, I hit cancel minutes ago and still isn't listening. Task manager, we try to click performance, the same for less, and see a few specs, see what the base clock speed is and everything. Might boot this thing into its BIOS and see what some of the specs are that way as well. Okay, so let's see. Base clock speed is 1.1 gigahertz. This thing is clocking at 2.4 ish, give or take. Virtualization is enabled. Is a 4-core socket, and the timer. Oh, computer fell asleep. But yeah, so quad core base clock is 1.1 gigahertz. RAM, it measly 4 gigabytes. It's 1.6 gigs in cache and 1.5 available. Yeah, that's gonna be our downside. Hard drive. Yeah, hard drive is definitely the weak point right now. Processor not helping, RAM not helping. Graphics, Ingrid Intellic graphics, okay, is what it is. But there's no way in hell the hard drive should be continuously maxed out from boot. And it is. There you go. Approximately 10 minutes to fully get in and be able, 8 to 10 minutes to get in and be able to do anything with the computer. And closing programs don't help. Because virtually nothing's open, even opening a web browser. Yeah, like, you can barely open a web browser. Once it opens the web browser and it allows you to start browsing the web, it's a lot faster. AVG, you're probably not helping matters any being running in the background, but again, that is very hard drive dependent on the computer. I'll go ahead and take a break for a second. And I'm going to go clone the hard drive and put the new hard drive in, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, we just finished cloning the hard drive to the SSD and are ready for our trial boot, see how much faster it is. Starting now. Start stopwatch, hit power button. As we call it before, this thing took like 5 minutes to boot, 10 minutes to even get into a Windows thing. So let's see. Almost 15 seconds in, it's loading. See if this thing is any faster with an SSD. "30 seconds into this screen, that's a lot faster than it was, and let's see how quick it logs in. Minute into Windows. It's a lot faster than it was before. And I can actually operate the start menu. Let's try opening a web browser now. Now Firefox is notoriously slow to start with. That's more internet based, but it is already faster. And let's see if we can load to YouTube page. And once I confirm the fix, I'm going to go ahead and put all the screws back in the bottom of the computer. Concerned with this computer to take it apart, instead of taking the bottom off, you undo all the screws and lift the whole keyboard plate here off to get to everything because it's right under there. Okay, internet on it's still a little slow, but that could be RAM related. And let's run a test. Of course, for our test video, we'll use the Crab Rave. And we're going to bump the quality all the way up on it. As I remember before, this computer struggled to run Crab Rave. A little bit. At least load it. Oh, we gotta wait for the ad.
I was proud to stand for my country, but I'm not going to stand for what Congressman Scott Perry is doing in Washington. Scott Perry voted to cut hard-earned benefits for veterans like me, just to give another tax break to billionaires. I wish Congressman Perry would stand with us.
You love YouTube advertisements when you just need a quick thing. I'm gonna pause the advertisements done. but that is due to more or less its lack of RAM than anything else. It is now fast enough to learn to an early version of BeamNG Drive that requires minimal RAM and everything else. Nope, it is still downloading content, so we will come back to that later, but there you go. SSD a lot faster than a conventional spinning disk hard drive.